the delay on, just the delay. I want to say I had to first of all, I had to get strength. I had to get strength enough to do this without breaking. Um, I must say thank you. I must say thank you to every voice, every opinion, all the care, all the love, and the support out there. Is your words turn into arms, and it held me up when I try to fall back. Um, that hurt a lot. You know what I'm talking about? It hurt a whole lot. I blame myself for not being mentally prepared for a letdown.
You blame yourself for not being mentally prepared for a letdown. What sense does that make? In other words, what you're saying is you was under the assumption that you was gonna get the gig. It doesn't even make sense. The level of entitlement is just crazy and insincerity. It's like this dude is playing this sympathetic role for what? What are you gaining out of this? And you telling fans that it broke you? You're broken? Don't you have a song called Can't Be Broken? The level of entitlement and simple-mindedness when it comes to our people in regards to how we react to things is crazy. Oh, Lil Wayne, why he couldn't perform at the Super Bowl? When was there news that Lil Wayne was going to be picked for the Super Bowl? People just was under the assumption that he was going to be picked because Jay-Z is the front runner for who performs at the Super Bowl. So everybody was thinking, okay, it's been years, about 4 or 5 years where Jay-Z has been taking over, and we've seen a shift when it comes to certain artists that's urban who have been performing. But at the same time, it's like, yo, the level of entitlement and presumptuousness is just crazy amongst our childish ass people. I don't care what nobody say. Our people are at the level of a child, man. We lack critical thinking skills. We react. We're impulsive. We have real issues, for real. And I say this beyond just the news of Lil Wayne and Kendrick Lamar and the whole Super Bowl stuff. I remember I was at a store the other day, and this dude got mad because his pen wasn't working for his car that he was trying to use. And in simple-minded, entitled fashion, he blames the machine. Oh, the machine ain't working. My car work. Fuck you, this, that. All this nonsense. As a man, you just say, you know what? Whatever. I got to figure out what's going on with my car and the pen. Because he kept using the car and it kept declining. At the end of the day, I understand. You just felt embarrassed. So you want to cloak that embarrassment with trying to be tough, and you want to get mad at the cashier. You're just being irrational like a female. A lot of these fucking dudes, they have the level of a black woman on them. They have a spirit of a black woman on them where they're irrational. They just want to be combative and impulsive for no reason. So, as he kept getting the news that his car was declining because of a pen that was incorrect, he starts yelling and getting all cantankerous when it's like, yo, you a man. Men don't do this. What are you doing? I'm just looking at, I ain't saying, I'm just looking at this dude like, yo, you a grown man. Why are you reacting like as if he's in the wrong? All he's doing is like as if the cashier is in the wrong for telling him that his card is declined. It's like, this is what you got to deal with when you're working in retail as well. You got to deal with these irrational, simple-minded people where they don't know how to put things in context. It's like, yo, I'm not the one telling you this. It's the job telling you this. It's your card telling you this. It's the machine telling you this. I'm just the person operating it. But these people, they internalize things so much. They personalize things so much. They don't know how to put things in proper context. You have to think. A lot of our people don't think. This right here, this Lil Wayne thing is just a microcosm of what I'm saying, because what I'm saying is an extension. It's beyond just this Lil Wayne thing, but it speaks to it because this whole thing is just revolved around people who are simple-minded and entitled. The entitlement just has to stop. As a grown man, you should not be entitled. And just going back to that situation that occurred, he going back and forth arguing with the cashier as if the cashier is in the wrong, that his card is declined. I'm just like, yo, the level of irrationale amongst our people, the men, the black men. It's like they really have the woman spirit on them, for real. More and more I see it's getting worse. It's just getting worse and worse. And it's crazy because this ties into like the whole Kendrick Lamar thing and the aftermath of the Super Bowl news where Kendrick drops Watch the Party Die. And Watch the Party Die kind of speaks to how I feel about this world, just based off of certain ones that just gotta go. You know, if you read Second Ezra 6 and 9, it goes into that as well. The aspect of Esau's world ending and a new world coming together, coming into fruition. You know, Jacob, the understanding of the world that followeth, Esau, the new world, the better world, the new earth. Kendrick Lamar just going into this aspect of these things that we've known have been deleterious to us. And it has to die. Now, it's layered in regards to the content, the subject matter, what he's talking about, because it's the hip hop industry, but it's also about the world. It's also about our people, our quote unquote culture, in which we don't have, right? We think we have a culture. We look at hip hop as a culture. That's not a culture. All it does is just underscores a level of misinformation as well as ignorance when it comes to our people, because we do not know who we are. So by osmosis, us not knowing who we are is going to lead to us just thinking that something that's dominated by us is a culture because we dominate it. We're good at it. How can this be a culture when it's been controlled by Caucasians for years, since its inception? How can you call this a culture when it glorifies gang culture and selling drugs and doing drugs and sexualization of women and promiscuity and, you know, just the whole whoredom aspect of women and all this nonsense? How can you call that a culture? That's how you know our people, we operate at a low level when it comes to how we see things, man. We just do. We don't even understand that because we are in this world full of confusion. And it tells you in Hosea 4 and 6, we are destroyed for lack of knowledge. We are literally destroyed, mentally destroyed. We don't even know what a culture is. We think hip hop is really a culture. Got to go back and forth with these simple-minded people who think they know what they talking about. They don't. Hip hop is not a culture. It's a business. It's a music genre. You say it's a culture because we dominate it. We're good at it. But it's not a culture, man. It's not. Culture is lineage, a uniform understanding of what you adhere to, how you're supposed to conduct yourself, and what you believe in terms of the understanding of our spirituality and what we connect to in regards to the Most High. But if to those who don't even believe in the Most High, a culture is still based in that, just when it comes to the aspect of uniform understanding of what we adhere to, lineage, customs. That's what a culture is. Black people do not have a culture. If we did, then we will all be adhering to the same thing. And the woman would be in line because the woman would have no choice but to adhere to the same thing, because every man will be in adherence to the same thing. So she will have no choice but to fix herself. You feel what I'm saying? We don't have a culture. We don't think in context. We don't use critical thinking skills. We just don't. For the most part, obviously, there's a sect of us who are astute and prudent and understand things. But the base level aspect of our people are the ones that's being highlighted. And those are the ones that's being representatives for our people. That's why we at a low level, because the ones like myself and brothers who are understanding and know what's going on, we not the ones being highlighted. We being cast out. We persona non grata, but we understand that we are the ones that's meant to be the spearheads for change in this society in regards to, if we want to see something that's better than what we've been seeing. And obviously, it's all based off of the Heavenly Father. And a new world will come. And we just hope to inherit the celestial body.
For just automatically, mentally putting myself in that position, like somebody told me that was my position. So I blame myself for that. But
so in other words, you were under the assumption, like somebody told you, that you had that position. Or, as you say, to paraphrase, you thought that you had that position. You let yourself down thinking that you had that position. just based off of just you thinking that. On the surface, I don't know what he was told behind the scenes, but based off of what he's saying, he's pretty much saying that he was under the assumption, and he felt like he let himself down just by assuming that he was going to get the gig. It's just crazy, the level of entitlement. And then he's playing this role, like pandering to the fans. Oh, thank you to all my fans with open arms. Like, all this nonsense. What are we talking about here? It's not like people were told that, hey, Kendrick Lamar is going to perform. I mean, Lil Wayne is going to perform. You wasn't snubbed because you wasn't even considered. You have to have been given an interview. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but like I said, based off of what he's letting on the surface, he was under the assumption that he was going to get the gig. So what is all this? Why even make a video? That's how you know that this is just narrative driven. It's all based in Hegelian dialectic. That's all this is. Kendrick Lamar is announced to perform at the Super Bowl, the one that's the victor in the takedown of the spearhead of the industry, right? So he's kind of like looked at as the enemy and the good guy to a degree, just in terms of certain fans who are against him because he was picked to be the Super Bowl, as well as just being against him because he represents something. You know what I mean? A certain aspect of righteousness and whatnot. So with that, you have Lil Wayne, who's supposed to be like a buffer for that and play to the emotional aspect. It's just so sad, bro. Like, it's just crazy. You're a grown ass man. You saying that you're hurt and you're broken over not being able to perform at a Super Bowl. Like, what are we talking about? Is it that serious? I get it. It's a big deal. But is it that serious for you to be let down and hurt about it? Especially if you was assuming that you was going to get it. Not even like you were picked and somebody did you wrong by lying to you or something. Like, nobody lied to you. According to what you're saying, nobody lied to you. You just under the assumption that you were going to get the gig. It's just crazy, man. It's crazy.
There was nothing better than that spot and that stage and that platform in my city. And so it hurt. It hurt a whole lot. But y'all are amazing. It made me feel like not getting this opportunity. And when I felt like you guys reminded me that I ain't without y'all. And that's an amazing reality. So, like I said, it broke me, and I'm just trying to put me back together. But
Sir, you literally have a song on your album called Can't Be Broken. And this is what breaks you? You being presumptuous and spoil you and entitled, thinking that you was going to perform at the Super Bowl and you found out that you wasn't, and that broke you? What is the point of you making the song Can't Be Broken? And the reason why I'm saying this is because don't these rappers live their raps? And it's not like you talking about some, violence and gun talk. You just got a song about saying, like, you can't be broken. Nothing can stop you. Nothing can really break you. You're impervious. You're strong-minded, strong-willed. You have a strong heart. You have thick skin. That's how you know that these people are characters. And I did a video on Lil Wayne. There's layers to this character known as Lil Wayne. I believe he's under a deep level of programming. And I also, if not a deep level of programming, that he's a clone. Because certain people that I put in context with that notion or that belief, like a Eminem, Rick Ross, Gucci Mane, they have these interviews where they talk about how they forget their lyrics. It's just interesting. It's just interesting, man. But yeah, man, this is just all nonsense. And it just speaks to the level of entitlement when it comes to our people. We are childish. We pretty much at the level of a child in this society, man. We just don't understand that. We don't know anything. We're lost. We're ignorant. Our women are whores. They have no respect for themselves. We have no understanding of who we are. We are at the bottom. We idolize. We put people on pedestals. We have respect of persons poor diet, poor lifestyle, poor conduct. And this is for the most part, because it's obviously a sect of our people who conduct themselves, in a certain manner. But at the same time, I speak to the majority because those are the people that's maintaining this problem in our community. And it's only going to stop when the Most High intervenes. Let's just say that. I don't want to say too much, but it's only going to stop according to prophecy. This is why Kendrick Lamar is saying what he's saying on songs like Watch the Party Die, because it speaks to prophecy. He's playing the role of the great prophet or Christ figure. You feel what I'm saying? That's why he made the song Fear, where he talks about being an Israelite, or Yeah, he made the album Damn, where he talks about destruction in the end times. But then he's playing on this role of him being a God because, he was able to find that zenith. He was able to find that self-discovery. That's why he released the album Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. And it represented his trauma and his ails and the things that he's been through. And also going into the aspect of, pretty much establishing laws for himself. Going back to the understanding of the serpent telling Eve and Adam that they would be as gods. The reason why I'm saying this is because he plays on that on the album Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers as if he's like this divine dictator, like he's a god, like he's the one that's blessing people and this and that. It's crazy the way these people take on these type of roles. It's all based in blasphemy. But Kendrick Lamar is a dope artist, but also he's a part of the industry, and this is what they do. This is what they push. But Watch the Party Die, it's pretty much just giving you an understanding of all these things that's ensuing in our society, in our community, that's been at play in our community, and how it pretty much has to be done away with because a new earth is coming. And this is all according to prophecy. So Kendrick Lamar is speaking to something that's, on the surface it's about hip hop, the culture, quote unquote, but it's an extension of his understanding when it comes to the end times. These times where, Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. And also the understanding of how, is parallel to the song Untitled 1 from his album Untitled Unmastered. So, I said a lot about the Kendrick Lamar thing because it's kind of like revolved around this. He put out the song on September 11th. It's in reference to the towers in regards to destruction and then rebuilding after that destruction, order out of chaos, right? 777. Kendrick Lamar also wore a shirt, red, black, and white shirt at the VMAs in 2013, and it says 777. So he was someone who was ordained for this role of order out of chaos. That's all this is based in, order out of chaos. Watch the Party Die. You know what I mean? So all the stuff that's going on in regards to the downfall, quote unquote, of the entertainment industry, it's like in replica of the downfall of this world and the imminent, afterworld in regards to Jacob's kingdom.